Life trim.
Call the meeting to order. Please join me for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this is our regular city council meeting for the month of, one of the ones for the month of June. Let's start with the roll call, please.
Weber.
Yes.
Houston.
Present.
Hannah.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Versater.
Here.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Passes 7-0. Next, we move to the public comment. Leanne, did you have something for us?
Hi, I'm Leanne Harrison, 514 Fifth Avenue Southwest, president of the local Historical Society. Just making the announcement that this is Iowa Museum Week, and it's from June 10th to the 16th. There are lots of different museums in Buchanan County, so hope everybody takes advantage of that. Flag Day is this Friday, and the Lee Mansion will have special hours on that day, and it will be from 10 until 4, as well as on the weekend. Then the annual 4th of July pancake breakfast at the Mill with the Lions Club is really June 30th. So that's on the Sunday previous to the 4th of July, and it's from 8 until noon. So hope to see everybody there.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you.
Saw the ad on the TV for the Lee Mansion a couple times.
Great.
Good one.
Let's move to the consent agenda. I need a motion to accept and approve the consent agenda that approves the following: the minutes of the May 28, 2024 regular meeting, the 14th annual Oakwood Cemetery tour to be held on Saturday, July the 20th of 2024, Casey's General Store 2239 Class E retail alcohol license renewal effective July 1, 2024 through June the 30th, 2025.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next, we move to the financials. I need a motion to approve the claims for payment.
So
So,
moved.
second.
I have a motion and a second.
I had one question on that. Robertson Eddy Trust Account, fees for the City Hall, $25,000. What's that?
That was discussed at the May work session. That's the down payment assistance program.
Oh, and it goes through them?
That goes through, we pay the closing, whoever's doing the closing. We don't actually give it to the applicant.
Yeah, so it goes into their trust account.
So they're holding it in our trust, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, then I have a motion and a second, so that would be a roll call vote, please.
All in favor?
Oh, it's a consent. I'm sorry, I apologize. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next, we move to the revenues and expenses to date. That would be information only. Anybody have any questions with regard to the revenues or expenses?
I think we're going to make it to July 1st.
We're getting closer.
That's right.
Good to have the comment, but it'll come up later on in the meeting, so I'll save it then.
Okay, thanks. All right, let's move to item number 8, which is the public hearing. Pursuant to the agenda, I'll now convene a public hearing for the proposed amendment to the Independence Zoning Ordinance, Article 5, bulk requirements.
I didn't receive any written written comments.
Okay. Then I will, since there is no comments with respect to that, then I will now close the public hearing, and the city clerk will note that there were no comments for the record. Next, we move to item number 9, which is an ordinance. It's the first reading. It's a motion to approve the first reading of the amendments to the Independence Zoning Ordinance, Article 5, bulk requirements. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. I know we talked about this at our work session. Does anybody have any further discussion with regard to that?
Can you explain to the city? To the public?
To the viewers.
So the intent behind this is to change C2, M1, and M2 zoning so that for the rear setback only, right now it's 25 feet. Because those are traditionally industrial or highly commercialized areas, there doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to have a rear setback like that. So this would remove that rear setback requirement. It will still require a 15-foot setback if it abuts a residential district. So if you have a commercial property or an M1 or M2 zoned property that abuts a residential piece of property, you would still have to have a 15-foot rear setback to provide separation between the residential area and this use. But when there's, commercial backing up to commercial or commercial backing up to a railroad or something like that, then there wouldn't be any rear setback required.
When you say that about the railroad, doesn't the railroad get involved in that and set any requirements?
Nope.
That just seems like it could be too close to railroads. I've had a call about this.
Have you been to those little cafes where the railroad goes right by where people are eating their lunches?
But with ours, so if it abuts a non-residential, the 15-foot is out?
Right, there wouldn't be any setback requirement, which is what C1 is right now.
Yeah, okay.
This is something that it's already been through planning and zoning.
Right.
Other discussion? Okay, it's a roll call vote then.
Houston,
Yes.
Hannah,
No.
Moore,
Yes.
Prusader,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Passes 6-1. Optional, does anybody want to make a motion to suspend the statutory rule to allow for a ordinance to be considered and voted on passage rather than 2 council meetings at this one council meeting itself? We have to have 6 out of 7 votes to pass. Anybody interested in making that motion? Okay, hearing none, we'll move then to the 10?
Yeah.
To our number 10. This is first reading. I need a motion to approve the first reading of an ordinance amending the provisions pertaining to golf carts and definitions.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Again, we talked about this at our work session. The trying to find the definition change. We had.
So it only adds the words "three" and "or" to the definition to allow three-wheel golf carts. So the definition would read 3 or 4 rather than just 4-wheel.
Other discussion with regard to that? Okay, that would be a roll call vote then.
Prusader,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Houston,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Next, we move to the alternative again. Does anybody wish to?
Excuse me a second, Mayor.
Sure.
Susie, do we have on our website, city website, like which streets the golf carts can go on?
Yes,
We do?
yes.
Okay.
Yep, it's actually one of the pop-up items when you search for City of Independence, Iowa government.
Great. Thanks, Chief.
I would move to waive second, third reading.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to waive the second and third readings, and so we can vote on it at this time. Discussion on that? Roll call vote then.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Houston,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Prusader.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. So after having waived,
Now we need to adopt it.
now I need to adopt it. So then I would need a motion to, for final passage of the adoption of pursuant to Iowa Code Section 380.3 and to authorize myself to sign the ordinance.
So move.
Second.
A motion and a second, that'd be a roll call vote.
Jensen,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Houston,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Prusader,
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Next, we move to item number 11. This would be a first reading of a motion to approve an ordinance amending the provisions pertaining to mowing of properties. First, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Again, this is something that we talked about at our work session. Is there other discussion with regard to this change to the ordinances with regard to mowing?
This is pretty standard across the state, but this is kind of what most communities do of our size.
The numbers, as far as the actual cost, are kind of all over the place, but yes, almost every city that I'm aware of does something like this where they charge a fee and they mow properties.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Again, this would be a roll call vote then.
Weber,
Yes.
Houston,
No.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Crusader,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
It passes 6-1. Again, do we have a motion to suspend the statutory rule to consider the voting of the passage at this single meeting rather than having to come in 2 additional council meetings?
I'd make the motion to make it easier on our code enforcer guy, yes.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Again, that would be a roll call vote, and we need 6 out of 7 to pass.
Houston,
You need 7 to pass?
6 out of 7.
6 out of 7? Okay, no.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Crusader,
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Okay, with that passes by 6-1, so we've now suspended the requirement that we have 2 council meetings prior of the readings. So then we would actually have the motion itself to...
So move
Second.
to suspend the second, third, which
No,
we
this-
just did.
No, to,
That was
This
to
is a
approve it.
motion to have this ordinance that amends
To codify
provisions
it.
pertaining to mowing of properties be placed on its final passage for adoption pursuant to Iowa Code Section 380.3 and to authorize the mayor to sign the ordinance.
So move.
in second.
And then I would need a roll call vote on that.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Crusader,
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Next, I need, thank you. This is item number 12. This is the library board appointment. I need a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the resolution appointing Matt Riggers, R-I-G-G-E-R-S, to the library board of trustees.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. I don't think we talked about this at our work session. This is the replacement for Brad Schultz, who's decided does not want to continue a new term, so it'd be effective July 1st. Matt Riggers was recommended to us by Laura and her board president, who I listened to very closely.
We know.
His family uses the library a lot. They have 4 children. The younger ones are homeschooled. They range in age from 3 to 11. He's a pastor at Prairie Lakes Church and likes to be involved with the community. His family's lived in the area for about 5 years. So, further discussion with regard to him as the appointment to the library board. Hearing none, that would be a roll call vote.
Moore,
Yes.
Crusader,
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Next, we move to item number 13, which is the library board reappointment. I need a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign a resolution reappointing Quentin Stenger, S-T-E-N-G-E-R, to the library board of trustees.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. He was previously appointed when Greg DeBoer left, and so he's now finished out Greg DeBoer's term, so this would be a fresh term for him. So if you approve him, he would be effective until June the 30th of 2028. Any further discussion with regard to him? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Crusader,
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Next, we move to item number 14. This is a resolution I need a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign a resolution that approves the lot combination agreement and for the recording fees to be added to the previously approved claims listing.
I don't remember, we
So
didn't cover
moved.
this in the,
We can cover it just one second. First, I need a motion
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Hansen's here. He has 2 lots in the Pines First Edition, lots 11 and 12. It's approximately 800 Pine Drive would be the address. He'd like to construct on the lot, and it was discovered that the house would be across the property line between the 2 lots there, but there's previously been an amendment to the restrictive covenants for the Pines that has already joined these 2 lots together. We just haven't done it on the city's end.
There's several homes out there that were built across lot lines, and the city, as far as we can tell, the council was never consulted on that.
Yeah.
So this is our way to correct that. We went through planning and zoning with it first, and this lot combination agreement's before this body for approval.
Is this on the street away from the street to the south of you?
This is the farthest south street, yes. It's on the
Borders
pines.
the pond?
The two lots are on the north side of that street.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's two lots on the south side as well that are owned by somebody else.
Okay.
But yeah, the intent here is to basically establish a procedure for this is how, if you want to combine two properties together to build a single-family home like this is the procedure now.
Sure.
Planning and zoning approved it.
Yes.
Right. And Mr. Hansen's here in case anybody had any questions for him. Thank you for coming. We appreciate that. What's the size of the house going to be, out of curiosity?
2,100 square feet is what it's a ranch little house, no basement, and then the garage is 1,700 square feet.
Okay, great. Further discussion with regard to this? Hearing none, this will be a roll call vote then?
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Prasada.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Next, we move to item number 15, which is a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign a resolution repealing and replacing Resolution 2023-104, which updated the fees for the building permits for the city of Independence, Iowa. First, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Matt, do you want to explain what we're doing here?
So really, all we're doing is adding a sentence at the bottom of the fee schedule that says all applicable fees, and staff and I, as we were looking at this is something that we added since we talked about it in the work session, was the words "for non-emergency work," because we want to make it clear that we're not going to penalize somebody for doing emergency work by doubling their fees. That's not the intent here. But the language says all applicable fees for non-emergency work shall be doubled if the permit is applied for after construction begins. The idea here is to try to encourage people to come get your permit before you start working.
Okay, so if they've got some work done, don't have a permit already, is this going to apply? If they're already doing the work?
Yeah, if they've started work and they never got a permit for it, and it gets reported to us, or Matt finds it, or whatever, when they get their permit at that point, because they started the work before they got the permit, then the fees would be doubled for that permit.
Further discussion?
Makes sense to me. I mean, we're doing a lot, we're cleaning up a lot of stuff in the planning and zoning and the zoning. And I'm glad to see it because there are many, many misconceptions within the community about that.
There's no further discussion. This will be a roll call vote then?
Was there anything, sorry,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
in regards to the non-emergent work, is there a list of stuff that would be considered as regards to
So
what that would be?
emergency work, Matt, if you want to come up and speak to that, you're welcome to, but emergency work's going to be things that are life safety issues, basically. I mean, like, you have no electricity at your house because a storm came through, we're not going to make you stop and come get a permit before you can get your electric service repaired. A hot water heater would be another one that if a hot water heater goes out, we're not going to make you not have hot water until you come get a permit with us.
Part of my roof blows off and.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be some.
Go ahead, Matt.
Declaration too.
Go ahead, Matt. I'll bet you got a list.
So I got a little, maybe this will just help. So the exception to, I don't know if it's really an exception, but for emergency repairs vital to the health and welfare of the building's occupancy.
Okay, makes sense.
So hot water heater, furnace, storm damage.
Right.
The caveat to that is building permits must be applied for the next business day.
Right.
That's in the code book.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Further discussion? Thank you, Matt. Further discussion? Hearing none, it's a roll call vote.
Jensen.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Hannah.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Prasada.
Yes.
O'Laughlin.
Yes.
Okay, next we move to item number 16, right? I need a motion to authorize the city manager to sign a contract with ARC Management Group. First, I need the motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we did talk about this at our work session. This is the municipal infractions collections contract. Other discussion with regard to that contract and approval of it?
Yeah. Just want to point out that in our financials, in case nobody else was aware, we're not even going to hit 50% of our budget for traffic citations for 2023, 2024. And so, and then I got a confirmation today that those, in the financial statements, the monies, it's on a cash basis, so it's not all the citations that are sent out, it's whatever's paid, and then of that, Census Gatso gets the larger of either $38 per citation or 38% of the total billed citations.
Collected.
What?
Collected.
Collected, correct. So then we're talking about bringing in another outside consultant or collection firm. And do we know if, let's say, if they collect on something, does Census Gatso get 38% of that?
Well, I'm sure they would, because that's their share of the, them fronting the cost for the original cameras.
Going
Okay.
back to the original contract, Census Gatso would still get their cut out of all fines and fees collected through the collection agency, and then that would be done that way. So they would still get their cut as per the contract that was signed.
Okay, so then the collection agency takes 25%.
Correct.
Unless there's litigation, then it bumps up to 35%.
Correct.
But 38% and then 25% of
That gives you 63.
of that. And what did you say, Chief, last week about the approximate percentage of unpaid citations?
So we're running right around 40% on unpaids. And I was going to answer your other question too. What was your first comment? I was trying to remember now. I can't remember, Tom. I'm sorry.
I think it was 63% of the collection is going to be gone in expenses.
Correct.
He was getting.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I spaced off after I got up here and started talking to you about this. I'm sorry, Tom.
No.
But yeah, they'll still take their cut out of what's ever collected. So if you figure 75%, so roughly if it's a $100 fine, they'd take $25, so there'd be the $75 left, and then we would get the percentage after Gatso got their 38%, $38 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then that would come through to us. The biggest thing we're looking for here is to make it so that we're getting something more than 0% of the others that are uncollected at this point.
Okay.
And the big thing is too, safety. That's why the tickets are being issued in the first place, right?
And that's why, to answer your first point, you said the numbers aren't going to hit their mark. Part of the reason is
Okay.
because the numbers have gone down on the number of citations too. As people start to slow down and pay attention in those areas and don't speed, our numbers have gone down historically year over year. So,
Which is our goal to begin with.
the goal is to put the whole thing out of business by 0 citations. The goal would be to not have to worry about doing traffic patrol and give out tickets to anybody. But
Right.
obviously, we're all human, and therefore we do things that aren't right. So we have to answer to the call of others. And was there anything else, Tom? I'm sorry.
No, you,
Okay.
perfect, Chief, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, any further
The
discussion?
rest of my argument will be for another day, but I got through what I wanted to say, that we're adding another fee that the city's not going to get to something.
However, the other way of looking at it, Tom, is you're going to be paying 63% of the bill roughly. And so if you have a $100 bill and you're going to lose $63, but if you don't have the collection agency, you're still going to get zero. So
Right.
you're getting $27 versus none on a $100 ticket, roughly.
37.
The best thing is for nobody to speed. However,
37.
that being the case, we still get something.
Well, these tickets are already out there, so.
Well, you hate the fact that there's 40% of the tickets that are out there that people haven't paid, and presently, we're not pushing them in order to get it, and this is the only way.
That's a little disturbing to me.
This is the only way that we can find a
But
way.
if the message gets out there and it slows people down and we get to 0 tickets, I think that's the direction we want to go.
That's the ultimate goal.
And I think that what the chief pointed out previously is that if you have a situation where that they've got tickets and they think that nothing's going to happen, they don't have to worry about paying them, and all of a sudden they do have to pay them, then that percentage of collectible will go way up in terms of the amounts that we'll be able to get. So I think that's part of the.
Dave, will it start out at a ticket as them, if it's a $100 ticket, that's all they're going to be charged?
No.
There's a collection fee on the other end in the contract, I believe, for the collection agency themselves.
So they'll pay that, but we won't see any
Yep.
of that.
And at some point, if we want to add fees, we can add fees. The other thing I'd tell you is, we did talk about before, was the municipal infraction route. To go that route, I have to pay the filing fees with the clerk of court, which is money I only recover if I recover it. So by going through the collection agency, we're out zero money out of pocket on the front end and money on the back end. It's possible that we could collect more money in the long run the other way, but it's a lot of work, and the return on the investment on that is very low compared to this, due to the fact we don't have to put any labor into it, nor do we have to put any filing fees up on the front side of it. So,
Thanks.
Thank you, Chief.
thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
There's no further discussion. This would be a roll call vote then?
Weber,
Yes.
Houston,
No.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Pursader,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
Passes 6-1. Next, we move to item number 17. Item number 17, I need a motion, correct. I need a motion to deny the Los Dos Marias Class C retail alcohol license renewal if they do not meet the requirements of the notification of non-renewal of a beer liquor license that was sent to the applicant on June 7, 2024, giving them until June 21, 2024 to complete the modifications.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion with regard to this?
Have they had the assistance they need to get done what they need to do, or is that just something that's totally on them? I get their renters.
Our understanding is that the reason that it hasn't been done is because they believe that it's a landlord issue. From our perspective, it may be a landlord issue, but they're the one asking for an alcohol permit, and therefore it's their responsibility to make sure the building is in compliance such that they're entitled to the permit, and I think that's where we are.
Okay.
And if they bring it up to code, they can come back, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So,
At any time, or is there need to be a
Well,
wait period?
they'd have to, go ahead.
We worded the motion, what we've asked for in terms of the motion, we've worded that way on purpose so that if they bring this up to code before the 21st, then we can move forward, and on the 24th, we would have on the consent agenda an approval for the council to approve the actual license.
Okay.
But if they don't meet that date, then the denial would stand, and the return back to the state from the city would be that we're recommending denial of this permit.
Okay.
Further discussion?
I really hate to put the onus on a small business. I mean, is there any way we can assist with the?
This started the 24th of February.
Did they contact their landlord, or?
I don't
don't
know
know.
the answer to that.
All we know is that they're not taking care of the things when we've gone out for the re-inspections and.
I read what was.
So
Well, if you're a small business too, you still have responsibilities.
I think this puts the onus on them, and they realize that they really need to do something, even if they can't get the landlord to do it, then, in the short term, maybe they have to take care of it themselves if they want to maintain their liquor license. Okay. If there's nothing further, then this will be a roll call vote.
Houston,
So if I vote yes,
I did have a
we're
question.
denying the,
Right.
If you vote yes, the motion is to deny. So if you vote yes, that would mean you approve. You want to
denying
deny
the-
Okay.
Okay, but
Tom,
stop.
hold on one second.
Just a moment.
That was my question. Let's make sure we know exactly what we're voting on. To my knowledge, a yes vote is you're denying
Correct.
the license.
That is correct.
I just wanted to clarify that
That
before
is
the
correct.
votes
Thank
took
you.
place.
Okay.
yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Crusader,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. Next, we move to reports. Brett, do you have anything for us this week?
I have nothing.
Okay, Tom?
The only thing I have is our thoughts and prayers are with John Klotzbaugh and his family. His mom, Mary, passed away Thursday, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah, she was a very nice lady.
Thank you for that, Tom. Yep.
Just an update on the cemetery. We've got the stones that were damaged, the estimate, and the guy's going to start pretty immediately to repair those. Is that correct, Matt?
That'll be my update.
Thank you.
Okay.
The only other comment I have dealing with the cemetery also is the committee will be meeting this Saturday back by the shed at the back of the cemetery, and our game plan as of today is where the flag is and all the medallions of the service people from all the wars. We want to get that concentrated since that is the center attraction of it, and get that all taken care of, and then we want to work on the cleaning of along the fence row, which faces the highway. And anybody's welcome to come. We've got extra cleaning utensils, tubs, everything that's needed, and if you don't know how, we will instruct you on how to do it. It's going to be from 9 to 12 this Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday, 9 to 12.
Okay, sounds good. Brian?
Nothing for me, Mayor.
Mike?
Many thanks to the citizens and to those that worked at the made Waste Management Day, or Waste Amnesty Day, a success.
Good, thank you.
A lot of good comments about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing.
Okay. You want to go ahead then?
So an update on engineering project from engineering projects from Crawford. The 2024 street rehab program, areas that required full depth patching have been completed last week, and streets are open to on-street parking. The upcoming schedule is that the week of June 17th, next week, the contractor will be in to perform street milling and placement of the new surface. Contractor is required to put no parking signs 48 hours in advance of the milling operations and place door hangers 48 hours in advance of the surface placement. During the surface placement, residents will have limited access to their driveway in order for the new surface to properly cure and cool. So if you live on one of those streets, remember that. 8th Avenue Northwest, the IPF drainage improvements, the bids are scheduled to be received on that the Thursday, June 20th. We'll be talking about council at the next council, or talking about that with council at the next council meeting. What Councilwoman Hannah was talking about earlier, I signed and authorized Tony Bankston to start working on the 3 headstones that were damaged at the cemetery. His bid for the work was $800, which seemed really reasonable. Our insurance deductible was $1,000. Doesn't make sense to file any kind of claim when you're not even going to hit the deductible. So I signed this morning and got him started on that. I left him a message and
Yeah, I talked
also
to him, too.
emailed him, so hopefully he's got that information. We also had Jake Bass with the AmeriCorps Senior Volunteer Program here in town reached out and wanted to know if I would sign a memorandum of understanding with them so that seniors who volunteer with the cemetery project can get credit through that. And I did that this afternoon, so Jake will have that as well.
Good.
Then on the, I'm not sure if we're going to talk about it on the July work session or not, but the police or the fire department they've got a dog that Assistant Chief Butler has got, and they want to do a canine therapy dog. So we'll talk about it more at an upcoming. There's no cost to the city for this, so it's the association stuff, but I think the July work session is when we're going to bring that up, but you need to Butler first, so that's all I've got.
Thursday, 8:30 in the morning, we will be having our
Thank you. Go ahead.
ribbon cutting for the all-inclusive park, which is the area behind the courthouse. So that's ready to go. So 8:30 in the morning on Thursday.
30 in the
I
morning?
know it's early for you, Tom, but
Grass looks good up there.
Jeez.
it's looking real good.
Grass.
Everybody probably knows we had the,
15th?
I'm sorry?
June 15th?
Yeah.
Whatever Thursday is.
13th.
13th?
Three days from now sometime.
We had the grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony for the baseball softball complex. That happened last Thursday. I didn't hit the ground with my first pitch, so that was always a good thing. Well, some of my warm-ups weren't quite so good, right, Mike?
That's right.
Saturday, June the 22nd,
Correct?
we will be having our downtown revitalization open house on the businesses, business open house. And we'll be getting information out about that and starting to work on getting our before and after pictures and the other things that are necessary for that project. But we'll be completing that project as well.
That's from 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock on the 22nd of June.
Correct. That's all I had. Motion to with,
We have another, Susie hasn't talked.
I'm sorry.
I don't have anything. You got.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Session.
You're right.
Done.
Number 20.
So I need a motion to enter into a closed session per Iowa Code Section 21.51, parentheses, little c into parentheses. I need a motion first.
So moved. Second?
Then that would be a roll call vote, please.
Hannah,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Persauter,
Yes.
O'Laughlin,
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Passes 7-0. So thank everybody that's here.